Hi, I'm Jaqueline P'ng and you're watching the HTV Evening Highlights. The local bourse rebounded on bargain hunting while the ringgit weakened on softer oil prices. It remains to be seen whether the rebound is sustainable, as investors are also seeking direction from the ringgit's performance and local developments. At the close, the CI rose 10.66 points to close at 1,614. At the last look, the ringgit was trading at 4.33 against the US dollar from 4.32 yesterday. The ringgit weakened to a new point at 3.07 against the Sing dollar earlier today before trading around 3.05. Now, the weakening ringgit has affected the construction industry, and the Construction Industry Development Board, or CIDB, says there is a way to mitigate its effect. Here's what its Chief Executive, Dato' Sri Judin Abdul Karim, has to say.
One of it is to get our industry more ready for export. Okay, like I said, one of it is also cut the requirement of labor and invest in equipment and invest in manufacturing. Because when the thing comes into production and when the cycle goes up, you'll be ready. At the same time, even if the cycle doesn't come up, you can export. Okay, so that's the only way, I think, for industry to be more resilient. It has to be more diverse. It has to have technology. It has to have technology because it has to have value. It has to have innovation.
He adds that the ETP projects in the pipeline, such as the MRT, Pengerang and the Pan-Borneo project, will also help mitigate the effects of the ringgit. SP Setia posted its strongest quarterly revenue to date with the completion of Fulton Lane in Melbourne, its maiden property in Australia. The developer handed over the 470 million Aussie dollar luxury apartments in August, 2 months ahead of schedule. SP Setia says third quarter revenue rose by 82% to 1.6 billion ringgit. Profit after tax surged 123% to 406.3 million ringgit, while profit after tax stood at a respectable 286.4 million ringgit. It declared a single-tier interim dividend of 4 cents per share for the financial period from November 1st, 2014 to December 31st, 2015. SP Setia says it will continue to seek venture in Australia to further expand its portfolios overseas. Elsewhere, the developer says its Battersea Power Station project in the UK has seen sales slow down due to the softening of interest from Asia regions because of the strengthening of the British pound and the uncertainty in the economic outlook. It fared better in Singapore, with sales rising 65% to 53 million ringgit. Overall, the group's international projects posted a sales growth of 15.5% from the previous quarter. On the local front, SP Setia registered a slight decline in sales to 573 million ringgit on challenges such as tighter lending, the weaker ringgit and poor market sentiment. However, it says the demand for affordable residential properties is still sustainable given Malaysia's relatively young population and labour force and increasing urbanisation. Lawmaker Tony Phua says 1MDB must come clean on the bond arrangement and guarantee by Abu Dhabi's International Petroleum Investment Corporation, or IPIC. That's to ensure that 1MDB is not blamed for the missing $1.4 billion payment to IPIC as reported by the Wall Street Journal. He says 1MDB's denial of the report yesterday was not enough. Phua also lamented on the lack of commitment from the Dewan Rakyat Speaker and the Executive on when the Public Accounts Committee or PAC chairman will be appointed. Without such commitment, it won't be possible for PAC to resume an independent probe on 1MDB.
Absolutely no commitment from the Speaker or the Executive, whether Azalina or the Prime Minister himself, as to when the new PAC chairman will be appointed. All he said will be, let's wait for the coming parliamentary session before such an appointment is made. We are dependent now on the other agencies, many of which have been crippled. Bank Negara has been threatened, MACC officials have been arrested, the police don't seem interested, the task force has been told not to investigate 1MDB. So it is quite clear that the instructions from the top is all investigations on 1MDB must stop. Okay. The only one left is the Auditor General. But unfortunately, the Auditor General reports to the Prime Minister. It is not an independent institution in Malaysia.
Meanwhile, 1MDB was quick to defend itself. saying that the key terms of the bond and the IPIC guarantee are contained in the notes to the 1MDB audited accounts dated 31st March 2013 and 31st March 2014. 1MDB said it had also provided a detailed answer to the Wall Street Journal report on 9th September. 1MDB also urged PUA to step down from PAC pending investigation by the police on alleged attempt to topple the government. Malaysia's Industrial Production Index, or IPI, grew by 6.1% in July from a year earlier, thanks to positive manufacturing and mining output. But the Statistics Department reported that the Electricity Index declined by 1.2%. Mining output expanded by 14% in July due to higher crude oil and natural gas production as opposed to the same month last year. Meanwhile, manufacturing output grew moderately at 4.2% compared to 4.9% in June. The major subsectors which increased in July were electrical and electronic, petroleum, chemical and rubber entities. Year-to-date, the IPI rose 5.5% as compared to the same period of the previous year. And that brings the Edge TV Evening Highlights to a close. I'm Jaqueline P'ng. Thank you for watching.